Hello everybody, ladies and gentlemen, it is me, Gannon, joined by my lovely co-host, Dylan.
What's up everybody?
How are you doing today, Dylan?
I'm doing alright.
Dylan is a little bit sick, yeah. Dylan is a little bit sick, everybody.
It's all good.
It's all good. His voice is suffering just slightly, but that's about it. The love for One Piece is still here, and oh boy, how much love I have for One Piece today. Like, this chapter is just like... It's like, Dylan, we're just getting an actual Straw Hat fight, and it's been so long, dude. Like, this is really a Straw Hat fight, and I realize all the other Straw Hats are doing their thing right now, but this is the only one that's actually, like, started, and shit has happened in it.
Like, we're, like, really seeing it happen, yeah.
Yeah, like... It's happening, and then I got so excited when I read the title of this chapter.
Yeah.
Chapter 1018, Jinbei versus Who's Who. And as soon as I saw Dylan at work today, I was just all over the rails, because I was loving the amount of fan service they were giving the warlord Jinbei in this chapter.
Oh, yeah.
It's amazing. We're just going to get right into it, folks. Because, oh boy, was this a good chapter. I'm really excited to read it, and I'm really excited to get into it. Castle Interior. Yeah! A total of 300 headliners with gifter powers have switched sides. The chaos continues to unfold. And so we have a bunch of gifters. They're trolling, doing a little bit of trolling.
A little bit of trolling.
Because Tama gave them the orders, if you remember, I don't know if it was last chapter or the chapter before that, but Tama gave them orders... And they've switched sides, and now they're helping the Luffy forces, the Straw Hat allied forces, and oh boy, they even mention in this chapter, you scroll down a little bit, and you see that the enemies start to target Tama. They're like, it was that brat. She must have some kind of weird power. Think we could stop it by killing her? And they start to get really worried, like, oh man, they're starting to target Tama. They're about to get to Usopp and Nami when all of a sudden... Scorpion Descenido! This dude, Daifugo, comes out and he pincers all of these weaklings. And Daifugo's actually a pretty prominent headliner. He's actually one of the good smiles because, as you know, you could still get a smile, dude, and it might just be trash. Like, not all smiles are good. There are good smile fruits and there are bad ones. There are some... that, like, you know, like Daifugu's that seem, hey, that's pretty good. He could, like, stab people, he's Scorpion-like. And then you just see a whole bunch of other smiles that are just silly, and they have nothing on actual devil fruits. They are discount, like, dollar store devil fruits. For sure. Okay, so we have Daifugo giving a funny, like, thumbs up to Tama after she's like, oh, Daifugo-kun! And maybe it's a part of her power that she, like, knows everybody's name after she gives them the candy or something.
Or she just remembers him for some reason, who knows.
But they even mentioned down here, Nami and Usopp are thinking to each other, they're like, her ability really is amazing. No kidding. Enemies one moment, friends the next. And... you know, it really is strong, honestly, but only situationally, because, I mean, these are smile users. I think it's been proven that real zones aren't susceptible to this fruit. It's only because the smile users are discount dollar store zone fruits, like I've said before, and they're like actual animals or something. I don't know why it affects them and why it doesn't affect the zone users. Maybe because actual real zone users are jocks, and these guys are lamos. But, yeah, everybody, you can see Speed here, the Gazelle Man, everybody is over here talking to Tama, and they're coordinating, and they're like, yeah, you don't have to worry, though. Leave him to us, because they're going to help Komichio. Sorry if you could hear notifications from my phone. I'm actually going to turn that off real quick. And, yeah, so Nami and Usopp did a little bit of talking to each other. Zeus chimes in saying... so Nami, can I be your servant again? And she's like, are you serious? No way. What?
Oh, this is
and then she gives him the little wink. we can be partners instead. How does that sound? And then Zeus goes, Nami! And dude, I mean, come on, Dylan, you'd be doing the same goddamn thing if Nami winked at you like that. Talking all flirty, being like, we could be partners instead. Oh my god! Yes, please!
Yes, please, Nami.
Yes. Yes, ma'am. Out of the way, Nami's partner coming through. I love Zeus. He's hilarious. He's really funny.
Perfect.
And I think, dude, honestly, Zeus is a new unofficial Straw Hat when you think about it. Like, Zeus is low-key like a Straw Hat now, isn't he?
Oh, yeah.
He's sentient. He's a person, dude. He's like a Straw Hat. Like, he is a weapon, dude. But that's like if... It's the same as if, like, a tool that ate, like, the elephant fruit or something, like, joined the crew and it was, like, alive and it was, like, a pet.
Yeah.
Like, I honestly think that we're not realizing that if Zeus sticks around permanently forever, that he is now a Straw Hat. And that means he's the first Straw Hat that they've managed to poach from Big Mom's crew. Next one's going to be Katakuri, of course. Next one's going to be Katakuri, of course. But that is cool to think about. Maybe we should make a video, be like, Zeus, the new Straw Hat. I'm actually gonna do that, dude. That'd be such a cool title and thumbnail. New Straw Hat, Zeus. And I'd analyze everything Zeus can do. Because Zeus is actually a pretty fleshed out character with a lot of events that he's taken part in the story, and he has a lot of attacks and things that he can do. And he has a really awesome personality that's just totally individual to him. So, for all instances, dude, Zeus is his own character, and yeah, he is the new Straw Hat. Like, we got 2 new Straw Hats this arc at least. Zeus and Yamato.
Oh, yeah.
Help the samurai Dude, why does that guy in the right of this panel look like an orc boy from Warhammer?
He does.
Help the samurai bring down Kaido. Are you out of your mind? Some subordinates are following the headliner's lead. That makes 2,000 additional traders. Yeah, because honestly, a lot of these people are probably been done dirty by their commanders. Like, Queen is just one example. I just feel like a lot of people are realizing with this war going down that maybe being allied to Kaido's crew isn't worth it. And a lot of them have just been done dirty and have been waiting for a moment like this. So the fact that 2,000 additional traders on top of all of the Smile zone user headliners, like, turning? Because at first, the Smile zone users were becoming kind of a nuisance. Like, they were a huge fighting force, and they were something that is like an obstacle to get over. But now that Tama has switched them all over to their side, it's like, bro, they have just input the GTA cheat codes.
The GTA cheat codes, yeah.
The Straw Hat plot armor is just impeccable. Also, do you think Tama is going to join the crew because she wanted to go with Ace, and now she's being really, really helpful? Do you think it's realistic that Tama may join the crew? Do you think it's, like, even a 20% chance?
I mean, there's always a chance, no matter what, but I don't know. I don't really care if she does or not. She could, she couldn't. I don't really give a fuck, if I'm gonna be honest. Like, it wouldn't be bad in my eyes if she did, but it's not like I necessarily want it.
Also wouldn't be, like, that good. And also, you want to know why I don't think she's joining the crew? Is because I think Oda understands that himself. Because what did Oda do, right? And then also, I've seen some evidence. I think people on the Discord or people on Reddit have looked at, like, Beaver cards and information coming out about Carrot, and there is, like, evidence to suggest that she's not going to be a Straw Hat. So I think that Oda himself realizes that if you're going to put a Straw Hat on the crew, like, that's a big deal. They need to be a excellent, well-designed character in all the best ways, and that's what we're getting in the form of Yamato. I really don't think we're getting Carrot. I really don't think we're getting Tama. I don't think these people really deserve to be Straw Hats. When you look at what the lineup is right now, Luffy, Zoro, Nami, Usopp. Actually, forget about all the people in East Blue. That's fucking stupid of me to even bring up. But, like, Grand Line, so Chopper, Brook, Frankie, Jinbei, Robin, all these characters are insanely freaking cool and awesome and proprietary in all their own ways, and I don't think you get that from Tama or Carrot. So no, I don't think they're joining the crew. I think Yamato's joining the crew. But anyways, it's Jinbei fan service time.
Oh yeah, baby.
So CP0 is a completely useless element in the story. They really don't do jack shit. The only people that are probably going to do anything in their organization are the previous CP9 members. I feel like they're the only ones that are going to make an impact in the further story. The poster boys for CP0, these handful of operatives that we've seen here and there, like a handful of times, we've seen them canon and non-canon on screen, and any of the times we've seen them, like, it's never been impressive. Like, I remember Robin was kind of afraid of them and was trying to avoid them at Dressrosa, but not really. I mean, the Straw Hats were essentially trying to avoid everybody at Dressrosa because it was an undercover operation. And then on top of that, if she got the attention of CP0, what's to say she wouldn't get the goddamn attention of the Navy and Admiral that were also on the island? Yeah. So I just don't think CP0, especially these poster boys here, are really meant to do much, but to be kind of a mechanic that just sits in a room and narrates.
Just talks about things that are going on, yeah.
Yeah, and then also they just drop in secret government cryptic shit that gets us a little bit gaslighted. We're like, ooh, why'd they say that? Ooh. But this was really cool because at first when they were talking about, like, the man who needed to be eliminated, I was like, what are they saying?
I was also thinking the same thing. I'm like, oh, who are they talking about here?
Yeah, I was like, just who's who. Yeah, just who's who. I was like, oh my god, what the fuck? Are we gonna get, like, some more crazy stuff? Like, and also, guys, in this chapter, it's pretty much confirmed that everything brought up about the gum fruit is, like, nonchalant. That's another thing. Like, I'll get to that when we get to there. But you know how I got really, really, really gaslit and excited by last chapter, right? Mm-hmm. I feel like what was said in this chapter basically kind of just settles the whole devil fruit thing, and the gum fruit isn't really that special at all. And I think the only thing that was trying to do was making a further connection between Who's Who and Jinbei that was more than just something that they could find between Who's and Jinbei. It was cool that Who's Who was the guy who was, like, guarding the gum fruit, and we also know for a fact that Lucky Roo was the person who literally stole it, like it says it in his Beaver card. In Romance Dawn, they basically just say that they take it from an enemy ship. We don't know if that was an enemy pirate ship, or we don't know if that was directly the Navy Marine ship, right? So when Who's Who said in the last chapter, hey, I lost the gum fruit, it was on a Marine ship, okay? And then also, we have that Beaver card literally saying that Lucky Roo is the one who stole it. I don't think there's any mystery here. I don't think there's any significance to the gum fruit. I don't think that we're going to learn about the gum fruit's owner. I feel like it was just that tiny little title in the bottom left that was gaslighting me and triggering the hell out of me, Dylan.
Mm-hmm. That didn't even exist in the official release, I don't think.
Yeah, that's what I was saying too, and I brought it up in my video, but nobody answered my question. I was like, does anybody know if this was, like, actually in the chapter or not? Because I'm really confused. But let's get into what CP0 dorks are saying. Their rampage has also cost us an additional 2,000 casualties. The number of the beast pirate troops has already dwindled from 30,000 to 20,000. If you account for these new defections and casualties, then that means, snap. It's currently 16,000 versus 9,000. That's a 7,000 infantry gap. Which when you take, like... Honestly, dude, there are characters on the field right now who could easily take out 9,000 grunts by themselves. It would just be a matter of time. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Zoro could easily take out 10,000 regular people by himself.
Easily.
In fact, like, it's just ants to Zoro, so it doesn't matter how many people there are, it's just a matter of how long it's going to take Zoro to squash all the fucking ants. That's the same case for a lot of the characters on the battlefield, so these numbers really don't mean anything. It's, at the end of the day, it's really like whose executives are left standing and whose aren't. Mm-hmm. So now on the board, it is proportionalized 16 to 9. Each one of those little dots proportionalizing to 1,000 people. The victor of this is no consequence to us. We just need to confirm his death. So, do you think CP0 just came here for Who's Who?
I didn't think about that when reading this first time.
Because I remember they were saying some cryptic shit earlier in the arc that maybe was alluding to who's who, right?
Way earlier in the arc, like before the raid even started, CP0 was meeting with Orochi, right? Mm-hmm. So they were there at that point. Mm-hmm. And then at another point in time, who was it? Hawkins was talking about a chance of somebody dying. We never really knew who that was. Could be talking about who's who, but who knows. So I don't know if they're here. I couldn't guess if they're here for who's who, but specifically, but that could be part of the reason.
So I feel like they're mainly still at this war room and still on the battlefield right now, and I think they just plainly say it for who's who at this point. I don't think they serve any greater purpose. I think their original meeting with Orochi was for weapons, right? Because Wano produces weapons. And then Orochi was like, if you want anything from me, you're going to have to give me Vegapunk. And they're like, are you fucking retarded? And so basically, I honestly think I need to go back and check this, but when they initially got to this room, Dylan, they were saying some pretty cryptic stuff. Mm-hmm. And I think they made an allusion to who's who then as well, but since we didn't know who's who was a government agent, we had no way of knowing they were even mentioning him at the time, so I think it's just been pressed out of our minds, but I think I need to go back and check. I think they've alluded to who's who here before, in that he's pretty much the reason they're still here. Mm-hmm. They say, Dylan, have we verified his identity? Even if it is him, any confidential information he has should be dated by now anyway. His survival wouldn't harm the government. So this guy's trying to be nice. He's like, well, let's just let who's who live, guys. Come on. And they're like, allowing a rogue escapee to live would set a bad precedent. Well, who's to say he'll even survive the night? He's facing Jinbei after all. Dude, this is the part, like, I woke up this morning. Zyad posted the link on the Discord. By the way, join the Discord if you haven't joined the Discord. It's baller. And I read this and I was like, yeah, dude, Jinbei is really the perfect crew member. He knows everything. Like, Jinbei knows everything and everyone. He's a wealth of knowledge. Not only this, he's an established pirate character. And not only that, dude, he's got clout. He's capable. He's capable. He's competent. He's strong. He's got clout. He's also just loyal and honest, and everybody respects him. I hope I put Jinbei on my top most respected pirates. I definitely hope I did. Because, dude, Jinbei has everybody's respect, even top secret government agents. At this point, they're like, bro, who's to say who's who will even survive the night? He's going against Jinbei. Like that got me gassed. That got me gassed up, Dylan. All right, guys. So now this is just such a treat because, like, you could just tell from the first panel here, we're on the fourth floor. We're actually getting into the fight of Jinbei and who's who, and this is so exciting. You just see from this panel right here, who's who versus Jinbei, and then you could see who's who's awesome themed cat room, and it's a little bit destroyed at this point because they've been fighting like beasts. And everybody's like, who's who, Sama's getting serious. We gotta get out of here. Like, dude, nobody can be around in the battle of these beasts. Like, it's insane. Look how cool who's fighting room looks. I cannot wait till this fight is animated. A cat-themed fight, dude. A cat-themed fight. So, first off, we get who's who. We're gonna narrate this fight, dude. We're gonna narrate the fuck out of this fight, Dylan. Who's who? Started off with a moonwalk. He's moonwalking over Jinbei. Jinbei looks up. He says, "So that means you hold a grudge against Luffy?" Huff, huff. My real I don't know how. My real issue is with the one who stole the Gomu Gomu fruit. I don't know what I was talking in. I had a certain accent for who's who last time. My real issue is with the one who stole the Gomu Gomu fruit. Red-haired Shanks. Fang Pistol. But yeah, Dylan, honestly, after reading that, that's all we're getting out of that. I truly feel like that's all we're getting out of that. He says that my real issue is the one who stole the Gomu Gomu no Mi, red-haired Shanks. Luffy wears the same straw hat, and he's the one who gained the power of the fruit. It's only natural for my resentment to spread to him. This is literally nothing more than a really cool connection between a new minor arc villain and a previous, elaborated on event in the One Piece timeline that's actually pretty important to the main character, which is getting his devil fruit. My bad. That reminds me, there's something else I wanted to ask you about. Iron Body. And then, who's who, like a beast, lurches forward using the iron body as a propellant, sending him towards Jinbei. Jinbei, arms out, webbed fingers, focused, because he's an experienced fighter. He's experienced. Fang Cavalry Flash! Blah. Pretty, standard move. It's nothing too fancy. He's literally just lurching forward with the iron body, with immense power and speed, and coating his fangs, his saber-toothed fangs, in hockey. This, right here, goes over. Jinbei initially kind of just blocks it, and then, like the beast he is...
Like the absolute god he is.
Just the absolute god. Just the precision and focus this dude. Like, he's... Oh my god. Jinbei has just got to be amazing. And this, again, just like... Oda, how can you really tell me that this dude in Ace had a stalemate after, like, fighting for 24 hours, dude? You're so fried, bro. You're so fried. Jinbei would have destroyed Ace. Jinbei would have just mopped the floor with that boy. This level of experience in fighting prowess. And then you look at Ace getting his ass kicked by Blackbeard on that one island in one punch, dude. Like, you see Jinbei, like, seeing, like, a CP9 super agent, like, trained in the 6 powers coming at him at Mach 5 with hockey-clad, covered, saber-tooth, fucking, what are they called? Fangs?
Fangs.
And he just grabs him, bro, because he has laser focus. Ace took a fucking giant lob punch from Blackbeard, then I feel like Jinbei would have seen him come from a mile away. So, yeah, that's a big-ass plot hole. I'm sorry, that was just totally Oda trying to save Ace's character. Sorry if that pisses anybody off, but it's true. The Jinbei-Ace fight is totally plot hole. There's a reason it was off-screened, and it's just like, I don't seriously take it serious when evaluating the power level of Ace. I know that Ace, within the Ace novels in recent years, has been juiced up and kind of repaired in a way. Because Ace in the actual canon, like, anime and even story is ass. But, anyways, he grabs Who's Who by the fangs, and he goes, Fishman no Jutsu, Eba Taida Shoda Throw! So he just basically throws him out over his shoulder.
Yeah.
Yeah, with, like, a huge amount of force. And even, dude, if there was an Arc System Works game, Jinbei would totally be a grappler.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, like, oh my god, I need to make a video with Alex about how like, which characters are going to be, like, in the Arc System games and what they're going to do. But, like, Jinbei grapples the hell out of Who's Who and just throws him down with such force that it actually, like, makes blood come out of his mouth. Jinbei then, super awesome panel, brings his arm back and throws out water bullets! And then Who's Who's like, dude, if I don't dodge this,
He's like, oh, fuck.
He's like, oh, god. He's like, I need to shave out the way real quick. He's like, damn, that hurts. Huff, huff. About the thing I wanted to ask you. Huff, huff. Back when I was in prison, I heard a story. Yeah, I was mockingly told to pray to a certain someone for salvation. Apparently, slaves in the ancient times believed in a legendary warrior that would eventually come and save them. They called him Sun God Nika. It was said he would bring laughter to their lips and free them from their suffering. Who knows if he really existed, though? Jinbei, still focusing on the fight at hand. My cruel sentence was dragging on for what felt like forever. So I clung on to the legend. I didn't care about the details. I just wanted to be saved. What does this have to do with me? You led the Sun Pirates. I heard the crew was made up of former slaves. Besides, isn't it the history of the fishman a history of slavery?
Ooh.
Jinbei
Doesn't like that.
Pissed.
Jinbei
does not like this at all. He clenches his shark teeth. Now, never seen Jinbei get mad at an opponent and fight them before. The only times I've really seen Jinbei actually seriously, I guess, fight a high-level opponent, you could say, is when he one-shotted Gecko Moria at the Marineford War. Actually one-shotted him. He one-shotted him, if you remember, with one punch.
I don't remember that, but it's funny.
A character that took the Straw-hat crew like a whole day and everything they had to defeat. It took Jinbei one punch. He dodged, like, Gecko Moria brought out the scissors. Jinbei literally just quickly dodged the scissors and punched him right in the gut, and Gecko Moria was done. That happened at Marineford. I would just like to remind you, Dylan, that happened.
Yeah, I don't remember that happening.
Here's who's who. Now, talking about Jinbei's history, trying to explain his people's history to him.
Oh,
do you know what I mean?
Inaccurately, too. I mean, not entirely inaccurately, but, like, it's still...
He's just talking down to him during this fight. And also, he was kind of being a little bit racist towards Jinbei as well, calling him a slimy fish man. So, who's who is just straight up being a disrespectful asshole.
Yeah, Jinbei's not about racism.
Jinbei, yeah, we'll learn, guys, here in a second. Jinbei does not, racism does not fly with Jinbei, and of course it wouldn't, dude. Jinbei is that guy. He is that dude.
He's that dude.
Listen, guy, you're not that guy, pal. You're just not that guy. And then, who's who over here with the finger pistol hits Jinbei once, and he's like, "Erg," and then he's like, "Finger pistol, spots!" And then he starts spamming the finger pistol onto Jinbei. Jinbei, over here on the left, you can see this panel where shadows fill his face. It's totally covered. He's like taking the brushing of this beating, and he's getting filled up with rage. And everybody's egging Who's Who on, and they're like, "Yeah, crush him, Who's Who sama. Take him down. The Flying Six are unreal. Even a former warlord is no match." Yeah, I think you guys are about to eat your words. Because, if the CP0 foreshadowing wasn't enough, wait till you guys see what Jinbei is about to do. Jinbei, I don't know if he's just pissed, if these are shadows, or if this dude is fully clad in hockey right now. You think he's fully clad?
I think his arms are. I don't think his...
Dude, I think his face is clad, dude.
Hold on.
I think he's fully clad.
Yeah, the only reason I don't think he is because you can still see on like one side of his face where...
Dude, I feel like that's literally just the highlight and the shadowing. I feel like I bet to you, dude, when this comes to the anime, he's going to be fully clad. And that's really cool. Just seeing a Straw Hat go fully clad, that is sick. Dude, I think he's going fully clad right now. Like, he's taking 100, like, or so finger pistol spam everywhere. I think he's got to be fully clad, Dylan.
It could be. I still don't think he is. Because it's like, I really just think it's because he's looking down at, like, the ground. So it would make sense if it was just shadows on his face.
Yeah, dude, that's pretty convincing me that that's clad. Like, his face is really dark and black, dude. But, anyways, Who's Who is spamming him with the finger pistol? Me and Dylan are disagreeing here about whether he's clad. Is basically what's going on here. Dylan's not convinced. I'm convinced, though. So, Dylan, you want to bet $5 on it when the anime comes out?
Sure, but another thing I would like to point out about that, though, is if you do go down to the colored parts, it even shows in the color, even though those are fan colorations. But in the fan colorations, it shows it's just being shadows.
Yeah, you're right, they do. Fuck that fan coloration. I'm still putting $5 on the line. Fuck that fan coloration, Dylan. That fan coloration is ass. He's clad. The guard who told me about Nika. The guard who told me about Nika vanished a few days later without trace. I figured that maybe the story wasn't meant to be shared. and hearing it put me in danger too. So I risk my life to break out. It's curious, isn't it? I love to hear what you know. And then, crop, crop, ooh, ooh.
Ouch.
Looks like both your fingers are now broken. Yeah! You can see in this panel right now, Jinbei is like holding down the left 2 buttons on his fighter stick right now and is doing a key charge. And Who's Who has got both of his fingers broken, going, yeah! This is so exciting, dude. I cannot wait to see this animated, dude. This is gonna be so much better animated, dude.
Sick.
Like, oh my god, the One Piece anime is so Fishman, karate. Jinbei goes ahead and grabs Who's Who's broken hands. Sharku grip! I have nothing to say to you. Who's Who, sama? Take this. Jinbei, like a gun smoke. Like, oh, no.
I think
Here's what happens.
no,
here's what happens. So, Jinbei grabs him. Who's Who is, like, in fucking pain. He's like, arg, because I think, like, Jinbei is so pissed right now. I think he's hitting him with, like, advanced hockey right now. Like, hockey that's so, like, that it's, like, burning him like Luffy and Katakuri, or maybe he's, like, pushing hockey into him, but whatever he's doing, maybe he's just gripping onto him super hard. Whatever he's doing, he's hurting the shit out of Who's Who. Who's Who tries to retaliate after they're like, Who's Who, sama? So, Who's Who, what he does is what is it? A straight point blank, what is that move called? Tempest kick.
Tempest kick,
He does a point blank Tempest kick with his, like, feet right to Jinbei. And Jinbei, you can see in this panel, just, like, tanks it. There's, like, steam coming off his face, like Jinbei was just shot in the face in, like, Terminator mode. It's just like he's not even winded. And then he's like, dude, when that doesn't work, he's like, I'm gonna gnaw you in half. Fang pistol. And then
it just breaks on his face.
Dude, it just breaks on his face. He tanks it. When earlier in this fight, dude, he shot him with the Fang pistol, and I honestly think Jinbei was, like, trolling him. I think Jinbei, like, allowed the Fang pistol to make him bleed to troll him. Because he's taking a Fang pistol point blank to the face.
And just not
being
phased.
And it does nothing! Does nothing! Dude, my neighbors hate me right now, but I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Fishman karate! Ultimate technique! Damn it! Why are you so mad all of a sudden? Ah!
And then he tries to jump away.
He tries to jump away, but Jinbei's got his tail down because Jinbei's a fuck, dude. Jinbei's such a good fighter, dude. Like, he had Who's Who in the palm of his hand from the whole time. Like, dude, Jinbei's got his sandal down on this dude's tail. He's like, hey, get off my tail if you're going to make broad statements about other people's history. Gargoyle style fisto!
Right in the kisser.
Dude, point blank, I think he's dead. You better not be half-assed about it. Gee-ya! No! Who's Who, sama? A heavy blow. Break next week. Okay, so Who's Who's not over and done with. But
he's fucked up.
But dude, like, okay. So the thing is that, like, bro, let me just talk. We're just going to talk about Who's Who and Jinbei because I don't actually know how long this podcast is already because we've had to stop a couple times because of internet issues. But I'm just going to go out here and say that I think Jinbei was toying with Who's Who earlier in the fight by, like, blocking his moves as though he was intimidated or afraid by them, so that Who's Who would be inclined to come closer and get confident and arrogant. I think that Jinbei is that experienced of a fighter where he's, like, letting Who's Who fall into his trap and fall victim to that. Because, dude, everything in this chapter just leads me to believe that Jinbei is just a genius, experienced, old, great fighter.
Of course he is.
Like he used the inertia from that inertia Fang Cavalry Fist. Like, he put all of his weight with the iron body and lurched forward with the iron fist and shape combo. And what did Jinbei do? He, with extreme focused, took the fangs, and used that inertia against him and threw him. Like, bro, like, Jinbei's doing all the right things. The shoulder throw, the water bullets, like, Jinbei is on top of this. Like, he's literally showing that he's low-key, like, another level above Who's Who.
I think just a walk, like, another day from Jinbei.
Dude, like, Who's Who is fucked, bro. Like, at the rate it's going, like, Who's about to get washed. I think Who's Who is about to enter.
He's already getting washed.
Dude, Who's Who, like, here, this is my prediction, okay? I think we'll leave it off with a prediction. I think, dude, is this really...
Well, actually, I do want to say something, actually, real quickly.
Okay, go ahead.
Is that I did see some things where it is a possibility that Who's Who actually has 2 swords. And one is the shorter one, and one is actually, like, an actual sword. Because the shorter little dagger thing has a different hilt than another sword he was shown having. So it could be that we, like, Who's Who, like, just as a regular... in his regular base form with a sword as a swordsman could be stronger than his hybrid form, but we'll have to see.
I very much doubt that, honestly. And another thing to note is that while he may have had 2 swords earlier in the arc, like, we've seen him in his whole entire body many times throughout this fight, and he is not shown to have a sword. He might pick it up, but I really don't think his answer to Jinbei kicking his ass in his, you know, hybrid form, his most powerful form, is going to be like, oh, we're going to use a sword and suddenly I'm a swordsman. I don't think that's going to be the case at all. I feel like maybe he'll do, like, some kind of, like, Hody Jones, like, last resort. Like, he might have to sacrifice some of his body in order to reach some new level to give Jinbei a little bit of trouble. But, like, do you honestly think that Jinbei's just going to wash this guy now?
I mean, like I said, he, like,
I honestly, I'm not really experienced with reading, like, One Piece fights. Like, is this the whole fight?
You know, I was actually going to ask you that. Because I was wondering the same thing. Because
I started reading One Piece fights, I started reading One Piece, like, after, like, Zoe. Like, after Dressrosa.
I started reading... Like...
So I was like, so sorry, now I gotta really quickly say, Dylan, I started reading One Piece, when I was catching up with One Piece in, like, middle school, and we were at the part in the Dressrosa arc where they had, like, either just got Gear 4th or defeated Doflamingo, and then they were, like, wrapping up Dressrosa and, like, going to Zoe. And I think they were, like, on their way to Zoe, and then I was like, okay, gotta start reading, and then I read all of the Zoe arc, and then, like, the first couple chapters of Whole Cake, or, like, a third of Whole Cake was done. So, by the time I was caught up with the anime and Dressrosa, Zoe and, like, a little bit of Whole Cake had been written, and that's what I read. And I watched and read the Katakuri fight, like, as that shit was coming out. And that's a main fight, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And all the other fights that happened in Whole Cake were minor skirmishes. So I've really not read, like, how long a fight is in One Piece. I've actually went back and reread the manga, because you know I have volumes 1 through 23, and I got up all the way to, like, Drum Island and stuff, and I could tell you that, like, realistically, dude, there is at most, like, half a chapter more to this fight, dude. I feel like a whole chapter is like a whole episode, right?
Yeah, that's
it's like a whole episode at least.
As of right now, the pacing for the anime is it's like 0.75 chapters per episode.
Okay. Well, then that makes me think that, bro, like...
And you know how they like to do in the anime now, how they really like to fluff it up and make it real good with the fights.
Oh, yeah, you're right. So this could actually be like the whole fight. Yeah. I'm a little bit confused. I don't know what to expect, but I'd be content. Yeah. Like, this is an excellent fight.
Yeah, if Jinbei is really here and it's done, I wouldn't be surprised. But at the same time, like you said, I don't really know how they go generally. I don't know if it's just one chapter and it's said and done, or if it's like multiple chapters in succession, or if it's like we go to it now, we go away, go back to it in like another chapter. I don't know.
But the only reason why I say this, dude, is just like usually when Straw Hats like have their arc fights, they have a little bit of trouble and are forced to grow. But I mean, is Jinbei just a special exception because he's fucking Jinbei?
Loki, I said before this fight really started that I could totally see Jinbei just completely mopping the floor with Who's Who, and he like,
dude, honestly, at this rate. At this rate, dude, I just want Jinbei to mop the floor with them. I don't want Husu to come back. If that's what they're gonna do, that's what they're gonna do. And also, dude, if you remember that last chapter, Inuarashi looked like he was taking it the worst with all the goons like ganging on him during his fight. I honestly think that Jinbei may wrap this up and go help Inuarashi.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly think so. But, dude, God, I cannot wait for the chapters to come to you, because we're getting into the fights. We're, like, in them, Dylan.
Yes,
we're getting into
right
them.
now.
The only thing from here on out, dude, like, this is the prime of prime times, baby. A year ago when you and me were, like, reading these chapters and reviewing them, we were talking about this time. This is prime time.
Yeah.
This is, like, Luffy and Kaido's big fight. This is the Straw Hats getting all their fights. This is prime time, Dylan.
Yes.
Are you excited?
Of course I am.
Oh, I don't even know why I have to ask you that question. Of course I know you're excited, Dylan. Of course I know you're excited. I know everybody's excited. I'm so excited I can barely contain myself. But with all that being said, this chapter gets a 9 out of 10 for me.
Oh yeah, 9 out of 10.
All of future chapters with the Straw Hat fights will probably be between a 9 and a 10. You know, you'll see one that gets a 9.2, one that gets a 9.3. None of these chapters deserve anything below a 9, and I'm sorry if that's a little too generous, but, dude, come on. I've been waiting my entire life for these fights. These fights are amazing. It is such a great time to be a One Piece fan, to be alive. It's insane. Be very fortunate that we get to read these panels, because there are a lot of One Piece fans that have come before us that have passed away before they even have gotten even read these panels.
That would be terrible, dude.
No, seriously, like, be fortunate that you guys get to read these panels, that you're alive right now and reading this shit, because I know I am. I'm really fortunate. I'm really fortunate. Because a lot of people can't say the same thing. One Piece is a really long series. I bet there have been many fans
who did not get knowing
you have passed, not witnessed this fight, not being able to witness Kaido versus Luffy, not being able to witness any of this stuff. So for those reasons, guys, just like be fortunate. This is awesome. I'm having the time of my life right now. In One Piece, like a part of me, like, obviously, like, I'm definitely not as passionate about One Piece as when I first got into it. But when I read chapters like this, dude, it brings me back. It makes me feel like a day one One Piece fan, like back to those days when I saw Zoro cut Mr. One for the first time. And I just so great, dude. This is the stuff that just makes me feel alive. Seeing Jinbei fight Who's Who like this, seeing Oda just be an impeccable fan service writer, just doing all the right things in this arc, I'm so happy, Dylan.
I am also very, very, very overjoyed.
And also, Dylan, I'm really happy that I can be here to review it with you.
Of course.
Because this is just great. And also, this is going to be the first OnePod, I think, where I'm going to do, like, a new thumbnail design. I think I'm going to have individualized thumbnails for them. I think those are probably going to help the OnePod do better. I'll miss the old thumbnails. They were good while they lasted, but there is a couple problems with them. Like, I do incorporate the manga panels, and not everybody likes that. So I will be probably doing a different thumbnail. But with all that being said, you and me both give this a 9 out of 10, right, Dylan?
Yep.
9 out of 10, excellent chapter. Jinbei versus Who's Who. We have a whole break next week, and there's actually a couple videos that I want to make with Dylan before the next chapter comes out, because I really feel like we're probably going to be seeing Robin next chapter.
Ooh, really?
It's either that this is going to be a continuation of this fight, and we're going to wrap this up, or we're going to switch over to Robin.
Real quickly before we end this, do you think the way these fights are going to play out, like we're going to get multiple of them in a row and then take a break, get all of them at once, or
I have no idea.
And then a break, and then Robin and Brooke and Black Mirror shortly after?
Dude, I don't think they're going to be like fuck, I can't even speak. I don't think they're going to be fight, start, fight, finish, next fight. Like, at least all of them. There's going to be some cutaways.
Okay,
because I don't think there's ever been an arc like that. Even in Alabasta, there was like cutaways, right? Like progression in one fight, and then it, like, stops, and then it goes to another fight, and then it stops, and then you see, like, the conclusion of another one. I feel like that's the type of vibe we're gonna get, but I'm just betting that we're either gonna see Neko and Pero, or Robin and Maria, and either way, I'm going to be impeccably happy with what we see. Because those two fights, I'm going to be honest... Anything. Dude, I mean, I love seeing Jinbei fight like this, dude, but at the end of the day, like, I'm going to be honest with you, I am a little bit more excited for the Pero-Sparrow and the Robin fights. For 2 reasons.
I'm more excited for the Robin fight, but I don't think I'm more excited for the Pero-Sparrow fight than this one.
Oh, well, I just have a weird place in my heart for Pero-Sparrow. And I really am interested to see how he fights all out, like, as a villain, especially against Neko. I think that's an incredible matchup. I'm really excited to see it.
It is an incredible matchup.
So I'm really just excited to see what Pero-Sparrow could do because I like him. I weirdly like Pero-Sparrow. I made a whole video about Pero-Sparrow. But with all that being said, thank you so much for being here, Dylan.
Of course.
And thank you guys so much for watching another episode of the OnePod Podcast. If you are enjoying the content that you see on the channel, be sure to hit that notification bell and hit the subscribe button. I'd be very flattered if you were to subscribe to the channel.